Joining us now is Patrick Bet-David, host of the...
Oh! Why did this autoplay? The most triggering possible video. Have you guys heard? Did you guys all hear that fake story that PBD told of a Destiny fan? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Oh my God. This is the fakest story I have ever heard in my entire life. He told some story about how he was at a baseball game with his son or something. And apparently some guy walked up to him and was like, "Hey, are you Patrick Bet-David?" And he's like, "Yeah." And the guy's like, "I'm a Destiny fan. And I think that Andrew Tate is less manly than Destiny." And Patrick Bet-David was like, "Well, who would you rather your son grow up to be? Andrew Tate or Destiny?" And then the guy was like, "Whoa," and he stuttered and like walked away and crying. And he was like, "And that's how I knew." And I was like, this is the fakest story I have ever heard. Oh, wait. Somebody has a video. Oh, it came from a show. Oh, okay.
Conversation together. It's like, hey, what about if we do this project together? How much
it?
money
Hold
would
on.
it cost? Blah, blah. And this man is gradually coming closer to me and closer to me.
Okay.
And he says, "So, can I tell you something?" Yes, sir. So, I think you were unfair to Destiny, and I think Destiny is he would have really called that Andrew Tate, the man that you defend, who did human trafficking, and he did this. Oh my God, I'm really not in the mood. I'm watching my son play. I'm trying to get this movie conversation here, and you're coming to my face like this. So let me ask you a question. Do you have a son? I do. You have a son? I do. Would you rather have your son follow the footsteps of a Destiny or follow the footsteps of an Andrew Tate? Oh, 100% Destiny. Really? Yes. So you're okay with your son being okay with his wife while they're married, sleeping around with another man. You're okay with that. I'm okay with that. Well, I'm not, bro. I said the conversation ends right here.
Yeah.
What else do you want to have a conversation with?
You know, what I'm noticing is you are so exceptionally unafraid of standing up for your values.
Oh my God. It's funny because he's doing an inversion of a question I like to ask. Forget who would you rather have your son be? Who would you rather have your daughter date? This is a question I asked Nico that he like froze on so hard a long time. I was like, wait, hold on. So you want to be like Andrew Tate? You want all the men to be like Andrew Tate? You think it's good, right? And he's like, yeah. I was like, would you want your daughter to be one of like 20 of Andrew Tate's girlfriends? And he's like, well, like, would that be success? Like if your daughter was one of 20 of some high value male's rotating girlfriends, like is this a good thing for you? Like, it's so cringe that people, they don't even really believe this shit. It's all just fucking virtue signal. Oh my God. I can't watch this. You know what? You know what? You can watch it while I do this. Good luck.
Patrick Bet-David, or PBD podcast. Big fan of Donald Trump, obviously comes from a different perspective than we do here at TYT. But Patrick, congratulations. I'm sure you're elated over last night's results.
Yes, thanks for having me on.
Well, I'll start off. Tell me what you think Donald Trump did this time around to attract a higher percentage of American voters. I mean, he honestly blew Kamala Harris out. It was unexpected. But what do you think he did this time around that made all the difference?
What did Donald Trump do? Donald Trump, what are the most simple answers? He spoke to the American people. He went on Joe Rogan and alternative media. He was trying to fix the country, the real problems. People don't care about your trans woke garbage. This is a man who will take a bullet to fight over tabletop issues and fight inflation and help the average working man, something like that. There we go.
Well, I will tell you, I think Kamala is the worst candidate the left has had in a while. I think if there was a primary, she wouldn't have beaten Josh Shapiro. She wouldn't have beaten Pritzker, Newsom, maybe Whitmer at best, because that's just not her. I don't see her as a one. I see Whitmer as a one more than I see her as a one. So it was a terrible candidate. On the area of Trump, if you think about 2020, there's an element. You know how you create content? Both of you would know this. You've been doing this for a long time at the highest level. I remember about 6 years ago, I pull in Mario and I'm like, Mario, watch the YouTube channel, the last 100 videos that we have. See how many of them have gone over 100,000 views. And we first listed out how many videos we have produced over 1 million views, 100 views. So we had a lot of them. And I said, but let's look at the last 100 videos. And we looked at it. Only 2 or 3 videos were of 100,000 views. He says, Pat, I cannot believe we're out only 2 or 3. I said, why do you think that is? And he's giving me his ideas, try to be nice to me. Like, well, I just think it is this. I said, it's not the thumbnail. I said, it's not the title. I said, it's not any of that stuff. It's the fact that I don't look like I'm enjoying creating content. And the audience can tell. Whenever you're miserable like this and you're not happy about what you're doing and you're bitter and upset, the audience walks. They want to watch somebody that enjoys what they're doing. President Trump in 2020 didn't seem happy. He wasn't in flow state. In 2016, he was. In 2024, I will tell you one of the interesting things that happened with him in this 2024 election, and specifically the last 5 months. I can't even say last year. I can't even say 8 months ago. It's specifically the last 5 months. He looked like he started having fun. And when he's having fun, he's talking, he's doing his trolling, he's getting under people's skin, he's doing his thing, he's being Trump. He wins. That wasn't the case in 2024. I can give you a lot of other things, but the one it fed.
Usually every time this guy talks, he sounds like a snake oil salesman. And I mean that in terms of business as well. I just don't trust a lot of what he says. But what he just said here, or whoever was talking to him, that isn't exactly true. Having a good time and having fun is probably one of the most important things you can do to convince people to believe whatever it is you're saying. You can sell somebody almost any idea you want if you can make them laugh. And if you can make them bored, you're probably not going to convince them of anything. That's one of the reasons why I think I had a good run doing a ton of different shows. Is because you just want to go and I'd have fun, right? I could laugh with Adam 22, I could laugh with Fresh and Fit, I could laugh with any of these people. Like I look like I'm having a good time, looks like I'm having fun. Like that's way more effective than going on and being like, all the misogynies and all the racism. Like people are like, oh, this guy's a fuck loser. Who cares? He's upset all the time. That being said, I felt like this was honestly the weakest part of Trump's 2024 campaigning, which is one of the reasons why I was surprised, one of many reasons why I was surprised that he won, although I guess it's maybe just the inflation thing. I don't feel like Trump looked like he was having fun at all this time. Comparing the difference between Trump in 2016 versus 2024, this recent one, is like, I feel like it's not even close. I feel like he looks old and miserable. But maybe... I don't know, maybe the last few weeks or something were different and I just missed. Maybe I missed like the funnier interviews or where he's like more having fun, I guess.
The X factor for me is he looked like he was having fun in 2024. He didn't look like he was having fun in 2020.
So, Patrick, there's folks on the left who think that people voted for Trump because, in my opinion, the hilarious lingo of some leftists, they centered their whiteness above anything else. So obviously, you guys disagree that it's about race, right, or gender. So what would you say your audience would say was the number one reason that they don't like the Democrats, they don't trust the Democrats, and they prefer Trump?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, for me, I'll speak for myself. I'm still a registered independent till today. It's been 15 years.
Cringe. You're never voting Democrat, bro.
I'm a registered independent. You can go online and find out what PBD is registered for. You'll see independent. And I voted Bill Clinton. And I think Bill Clinton was a good president. Just so you know, I thought when people talk about Bill Clinton, I thought he did a good job. I thought him being able to sit there and work with Newt Gingrich, making things work was exciting, was good. But at that time, I wasn't married. I didn't have kids. I'm 46 years old. Today, I got 4 kids. And I got to kind of sit there and think about who's better for my kids. I lived in California 24 years. I ran a business in California for 24 years. I left California because one day some local, tax assessor comes up and he says, "Hey, we heard your business has grown." I said, "Yes." "Well, you need to pay a local tax assessor tax of $69,000. I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Yeah, I need to pay." I said, "For what?" So, "Well, based on our estimation, this is how much you need to pay." Nothing audited, estimation. I go to the 7th floor, which was my accounting firm at the time. I said, "What is this all about?" He says, "Happens 1 out of 20 business owners, but if they come to you, you got to pay for it." I said, "What are you talking about?" $69,000. He says, "Yes." I said, "What counties or cities in LA do I not have to pay a assessor tax?" And I don't remember at that time, I thought he said Victorville, Burbank, Glendale, Santa Monica, a couple of these cities. I said, "I'm going to move to Glendale." So I moved my headquarters to Glendale because I want to be in a place that I can reinvest that money into the business. Eventually, I left California because I didn't think California was a pro-business state. Hence, today, after COVID, 2 states in America lost $1 trillion of assets under management, New York and California. Bad policies push business owners like me, like Musk, like many others out. Now I go to Texas. I lived in Texas for 5 years, Dallas, Texas, fell in love with Texas. But I wanted the best of both worlds. I wanted California and I wanted Texas. California and Texas had a baby. It's Florida. I moved to Florida. Being in Florida, I like DeSantis that he protects my kids. Even in Texas one night, when my first 2 kids are fully vaccinated. The 3rd kid, fewer. The 4th kid, we wanted the options on what to do and what not to do. You know, in Texas, there is no religious exemption.
Jesus. The kids are less and less vaccinated through time. Oh my God. Okay.
In Florida, there is. So for me, at this phase of my life, when me and my wife are getting smarter, educated, we're making decisions on clear philosophies on how we want to raise our family, probably one of the main things that...
Yeah, I'm curious about that comment, but I mean, I don't know if I'm in a position to talk. How is Florida like Texas and California? I can understand how Miami is kind of like Austin and LA, I guess, or San Francisco. Maybe. That's a stretch. But how is like all of Florida like Taxes or Cal? I don't know. I'm not sure. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. Beaches and no income tax. Well, first of all, California. Oh, I understand what you're saying.
Trump appealed to family people like me. It sounded sane. Some of the stuff the left was saying made no sense to me. What are we talking about on what some of the messages that were given? I understand the pro-abortion, the pro-life debate, no problem. I actually understand that argument on how it can be made on both sides. I'm a Christian myself. My position is pretty clear where I'm going to be at, but I can fully understand that being a debate to be talking about. So, they went a little bit too much. By the way, Joe Biden was a moderate Democrat. I know a lot of people on the right are going to be upset with me. How could you say he was a moderate Democrat and all? He was a moderate, but he was forced to act like he was a progressive. But Kamala was a progressive, trying to act like she's a moderate, and she wasn't, and people just didn't believe her.
Yeah, I disagree with you a little bit on that last point. I don't think Kamala Harris really has a political identity. I think Kamala Harris will kind of change her political identity depending on what she thinks is beneficial for her in getting elected.
So look, I'm a populist, so I can't stand the donor class and the establishment, et cetera. I think the Democratic Party lost not because they used corporate robot A versus corporate robot B. I think that they all would have lost. I think DeSantis probably would have lost. I think that Trump has a gigantic advantage because he appears to be authentic. He appears to be populist. I've been on your show. You know that I don't think.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.